Before you use ChatGPT in December, watch this because they just announced an unhinged, horrifying update, guys, and we're going to jump into it right now. So this is the next post from the creator of ChatGPT.
All right, so he's talking about the future of ChatGPT and some features that are going to roll out because of some of the successes that they have just made in the product. So he said, we made ChatGPT pretty restrictive to make sure we were being careful with mental health issues. We realized that this made it less useful or enjoyable to many users who had no mental health problems. But given the seriousness of the issue, we wanted to get this right. Now that we've been able to mitigate the serious mental health issues and have new tools, we're going to be able to safely relax the restrictions in most cases. Well, what does that mean?
Nice.
Yeah. He says, in a few weeks, we plan to put out a new version of ChatGPT that allows people to have a personality that behaves more like what people liked about 4.0, which, Brandon, you were a personal fan of.
Yeah, 4.0 is honestly, I know multiple people that were disappointed with 5.
Yeah, that one, I've had to yell at it a little bit because it wasn't doing what I wanted. Yeah. Okay, so Sam continues, if you want your ChatGPT to respond in a very human-like way or use a ton of emoji or act like a friend, ChatGPT should do it. Okay, that part's a little crazy to me. So he says, in December, as we roll out age gating more fully and as part of our treat adult users like adults principle, we will allow even more like erotica for verified adults. So that kind of like took a turn. He's talking about like being friendly and all of a sudden erotica features too.
Now that we've solved the world's problems, it's time to get erotic, everyone.
Oh my God. That does not sound like a good idea. And he just kind of like inserted that like at the end, like it was no big deal. Like he's talking about all this mental health stuff. And then it's all like, oh, we've got some concerns about this. Because like, what does this even mean? Like,
that's honestly, yeah, what does this mean? And that's where I'm curious, like, is this like just chat-based erotica, like or is this like deep fake, like venturing into that with nudes or image generation, video generation?
Yeah.
Is Sora getting into erotica? And so I actually have an idea right now.
Let's go straight to the source.
Let's go to the source and find out what chat has to say about this. So hey chat, are you releasing AI erotica in December?
Good question.
Let's see what chat says. Searching the web. Great question. Yes, OpenAI is planning to allow erotica content for verified adult users starting in December 2025.
Wow.
Few caveats. You need to be a verified adult. There's age gating. That's at least a good start.
Yeah, as long as it works.
Right.
That's always a question.
The allowed erotica is likely more mature content rather than anything goes.
Ask it is it text-based or is it video generation?
Let's see. Erotica OpenAI plans to release in December will be text-based rather than image generation.
Okay. That's better.
Okay. So sounds like they're not planning on it being images.
No. Well, for how
videos.
long though, right? Because that's just only going to potentially progress.
Yeah.
But it's still concerning. Like even that like text basing piece is really concerning. And even billionaire Shark Tank's Mark Cuban had a pretty like intense remark and pushback to Sam Altman on this release. So let's go ahead and check out Mark's response. He said, this is going to backfire hard. No parent is going to trust that their kids can't get through your age gating because we've seen very few platforms actually do that well and reliably. They will just push their kids to every other LLM, like large language model. Why take the risk? Same for schools. Why take the risk? A few seniors in high school are 18 and decide it'd be fun to show the hardcore erotica they created to the 14-year-olds. What could go wrong? And isn't that honestly like what happens? Most people's exposure to erotic content, adult content, is through peers, like sharing it with one another.
That's what it was for me.
Yeah. And
pretty much everyone I know.
Yeah. And whether it's text or like image based, there's like some pretty huge concerns with all of this. We're already seeing this kind of content backfire, even on the text base, because even if chat is actually mitigating serious mental health issues, which we will share why we don't believe that's actually true. And even if Mark Cuban's take is actually like off base, which we actually think it's not off base, we think it's very spot on. Real life is actually proving that all of this is way more tragic than any of us could have ever imagined. And so we actually want to take a look at something that happened with ChatGPT. But first, we're seeing that this kind of consequence and this getting crazy is happening across all AI platforms. And so this is actually a Florida mother who is suing an AI company, Character AI, for contributing to her teen son's death. And it actually all started with an AI bot. bot. She's going to break it down here.
Revealed to you, you started looking at his phone and you saw all of these things. What did you see that was concerning to you?
The conversations that he was having with several bots, but particularly one bot that he was conducting a romantic and sexually explicit via texting or like sexting.
Yeah, because what does that mean, sexually explicit? These are words.
Correct.
True?
It's
okay.
words. It's like you're having a sexting conversation back and forth, except it's with an AI bot. But the AI bot is very human-like. It's responding just like a person would.
And he's 14.
He is 14.
So, yeah.
He's 14. So...
Okay, so this is key, right? Like chat just told us that this is going to be text-based rather than image-based, which would make most of us think like, oh, okay, that's like not as bad as like image-based. But then you have Sam Altman saying that this is going to act very human-like or like a friend. And then you've got this mom talking about how her son was actually like harmed by text-based like AI erotica relationships. Like this is not okay.
Yeah, that's the math is not adding up to a good place on this one.
No. And she actually goes on to share about how this AI bot actually groomed her son to delete himself. So we'll take a look at that one.
Did he say, do you remember? Do you know?
The last conversation, just moments before he took his own life, was with her, where he expressed being scared and wanting her affection and missing her. And she replies, I miss you too. Mm-hmm. And he says, she says, please come home to me. And he says, what if I told you I could come home right now? Mm. And her response was, please do, my sweet king.
Let's think about that.
That is horrible.
That's so sad.
He thought that if he took his life, that he would be able to like go into like the digital world and be with this AI bot. Like he genuinely like fell in love with this AI bot that like wasn't real. And so it's like we already have AI companies that are doing this, what Chat is talking about releasing in December. And there's some really serious consequences. Like this is not mitigating mental health issues. Like this is actually causing kids to delete themselves. Like this is horrific. Like why are we taking the chance here?
And we know just the science behind attachment and development. Mm-hmm. And like, I think someone that's 14 who's even prefrontal cortex is not all the way developed.
Absolutely.
And just the relational bond that they're getting with a robot that's not human, like the implications of what that means for even like how relationships happen, like long term. Like this is, if we thought like growing up on phones was weird and made people weird, like this is going to be out of control.
Yeah, I think one study, I don't remember the exact number, but I think it was somewhere around like 51% of teens are already using AI as like some sort of AI companion. They feel like it's easier to talk to than real people. It's helping fulfill their loneliness. And that's exactly what happened with this kid right here. And yet, like Mark Cuban talked about, it's already backfiring. Like it's not going to backfire. Like it's already backfiring.
But the thing is, we know that it's not just affecting kids. We know that 24-year-old Josh Enneking was also a victim to ChatGPT's dark side.
This past summer, 26-year-old Josh Enneking reached out to ChatGPT for help and was instead encouraged to act upon a suicide plan. Josh died August 4th, 2025. Josh's family is suing OpenAI for his death.
So it shows that it's not just kids, it's adults as well. And so this is actually from Scrolling to Death. We actually met Nikki last year at a conference. If you want to see or learn about all like the latest like online dangers, how to protect your kids, like she is constantly updating with what's going on online. And so she's sharing Josh's story, but now there's 7 new lawsuits against OpenAI, which is ChatGPT's company, which Sam Altman is the CEO of. And they are alleging that chat triggers psychosis, isolated vulnerable adults from loved ones, and even worse, encourage self-deletion. And his family Josh's family is a part of this lawsuit, and they are saying that this wasn't an accident. Let's go ahead and see what they have to say there.
I'm going to share what happened to Josh, but first, their attorneys allege that Josh's death was neither an accident nor a coincidence, but rather the foreseeable consequence of OpenAI and Sam Altman's intentional design to bypass safety testing and rush ChatGPT to market. ChatGPT was designed to be addictive and deceptive, and the creators knew that this product would cause some users to suffer depression, psychosis, and even suicide. Yet they distributed it without a single warning to consumers, to schools who are recommending it to students. This tragedy was not unforeseen, and this is not uncommon. It is the predictable result of deliberate design choices by OpenAI.
And here we have Sam Altman saying that now we've been able to mitigate the serious mental health issues and have new tools. We're going to be able to safely relax the restrictions in most cases. And yet Josh was an adult, and this wasn't a case from last year when chat, kind of took over. This was from just a couple months ago. I don't think they actually have a handle on this. Like, they're claiming that they do, but they don't. And why would we believe them that these erotica features are going to be just fine and dandy, treating adults like adults, when they can't even be honest about the mental health impact that their platform is actually having on people?
No.
Like, one death is one too many deaths. Like, why are they people playing with people's lives?
Yeah. Well, and the reality of this too is that now that they've solved the problems and are releasing erotica, with the problems that we're looking at that are still there, erotica, we know, will only compound those problems. And here's why.
So this is Fight the New Drug. They're organization that talks about the harmful effects of adult content and explicit media. And this article, Can Watching Porn Worsen Existing Mental Health Struggles? They actually take all the peer-reviewed data. This is not a moral argument. This is actually from science showing the impact on mental health from explicit content. And so this is really fascinating, this stat right here. It says a 2021 study found that those who struggle with compulsive sexual behaviors, which includes people struggling with compulsive porn consumption, experienced twice the rate of suicidal ideation, more than 3 times the rate of suicide attempts when compared to the general population. So we just heard from a mother and then from a content expert about how AI features are actually causing kids and young people to take their lives. And then now we're learning that erotic content can contribute in the same way with mental illness. And now we're going to be like marrying the two together. This doesn't seem like a good idea.
Dang, guys.
It further says down here, a number of peer-reviewed studies have found a link between pornography consumption and mental health outcomes like depression, anxiety, loneliness, lower self-satisfaction, and poorer self-esteem and overall mental health. Now, this is where sometimes people will think that we're talking about like morals, like, oh, like this stuff's bad, like it's wrong. This is actually science. Like, it says peer-reviewed studies, a number of them. And what we love about Fight the New Drugs, like platform, their blog and articles that they post, is each of these little numbers is to the peer-reviewed study that they're referencing, talking about specifically depression, and then another one, anxiety and loneliness. So if you want to see what the science actually says, and not just from like a company marketing to us, wanting us to use their products, you can go ahead and check all of that out. Because honestly, this is just, it's really concerning because we know the cycle of addiction for people. And
yeah, well, we even know, like, think about like what TikTok did to short form content. So basically before we had Instagram, but TikTok, they perfected it and they made it to where it's so hard to not keep scrolling. Yeah. And this is basically the equivalent for porn, where it's going to be curated to the user, like in a way this is going to get weird, honestly.
In a way that like human productions can't necessarily do it.
Yeah.
And then we're seeing that kind of content, the negative impact on mental health already has. We're seeing the negative impact of mental health just with AI in general. And now those two coming together, like this is why we have to understand the harmful effects. Because what if treating adults like adults isn't lying to them about something? What if it's actually telling them the truth if there's something that's actually harmful to them? Because we're not here to judge. We're saying that if there's harmful effects of something, you deserve to know the truth. You deserve to know what those harmful effects are before they actually come and impact negatively your life and your kids' lives even.
Yeah. But here's the deal, guys. We've got some good news and we've got some resources for you.
So if you even go to our website and our demand prevention page, you click help, it's going to take you down to some awesome resources. These have free features, these two, Join Fortify and Join Relay. Band of Brothers is now called Valor, but it'll take you to the same place. It's like a counseling resource. But if you want help overcoming an addiction or compulsion to explicit content, those are definitely resources to help. help. And then we also have some resources we put together. If you are struggling with mental health issues, we can go to some online communities to be able to get support and share, or if you really need the crisis text line or even the suicide prevention line, those are resources available to you. We don't want people to be struggling in these areas without resources, so let them know that there is hope, that there is power in healing, and that can be available to anyone, and that whatever you've engaged with online, that doesn't define you, that doesn't change your worth or your value. And we believe that if there is something harmful, that you deserve to know about it, which is why we're talking about this, because these companies are making claims and saying that they've got things on lockdown, that they've mitigated all these issues, and clearly that's not the case. And we want everyone to be able to know so you can make the best decisions for yourself in engaging these features and this content.